Okay, so we'll start session. In the last session, we had done the topics. We started methods, right? Methods actually. Okay, the purpose of method is which is used to perform some operations. Okay, so and then we had done the discussion with the types of methods. So the types of methods basically we have the two types. One is the instance method, and the second one is the static method. Instance method, and the second one is the static method. Okay, static method is also called as instance method is also called as object level methods. Object level methods. Okay. Next, static methods is also called as class level methods. Class level methods. Already you guys aware of what does it mean by instance and static? How the JVM will treat both of us. You already aware of it. Okay. JVM immediately will allocate the memory for the static variables, but in case of we need to create the object, then only can able to access the instance method. Then only can able to access the instance method. And static methods we can able to create the now like JVM directly it will allocate the memory for the static methods. This is clear. And the next thing we done where we have the method. Method is having two parts actually. Method contains two parts. Method contains two parts. One is method declaration. Second one is the method body. Okay, the first one is the method declaration. Method declaration, and the second one is the method body. Method body. Okay, method body. I will show you normally how the syntax it should be in the last session. Syntax it should be first one. We need to take the return type, and then next we should take the method name, and then we should take the parenthesis, and from here to here this is the scope of the method, right? So from curly braces to end of the curly braces we will write here inside our business logic, right? Here we will write the business logic inside the block. So this is called method declaration, method signature, method declaration, or you can say method signature. Method signature. Are you guys clear with my point? So from curly braces to end of the curly braces is called method body. Okay, method is containing two parts. One is the method declaration. Second one is the method body. So from this one is called method declaration. I will say method signature. Okay, from curly braces to end of the curly braces we will write our business logic. This is the method body, and this is the method declaration. Method declaration. Okay, and also last session we done with the methods combinations. Methods combinations also we done in the last session. Method combinations. So first combination with the return type, and with parameters, Okay, and second combination with the return type without parameters, with the return type and without parameters. And third combination we done with without return type, and with parameter. Okay, next fourth combination without return type and without parameters. Without parameters. This is clear, everyone. So today we'll discuss. So once you complete, this is the basics. Once you complete this one, today we'll discuss. The topic name is methods deals with object. Methods deals with objects. Methods deals with object. Deals with object. So this is the topic name. Okay. First, you guys already aware of what does it mean by object, right? So object meaning it is a physical entity. Object meaning physical entity. That is the first point. Object meaning that is the physical entity. Okay, next thing is object are used to store the group of objects, group of element, used to store group of elements, store the group of elements. Okay, so next thing is, so for creating the object, classes are mandatory. For creating the objects, classes are mandatory. For creating objects, classes are mandatory. Okay. Okay, objects will be stored in the heap memory. Objects will be stored in the heap memory. Store in the heap memory. So these are all the points we covered in the object session actually. Okay, I'm telling one more time. Object will be stored in the heap memory. And the next point is every object JVM will allocate every object JVM will allocate unique hash code. JVM will allocate unique hash code. Unique hash code. Okay, so these are all the points we had done the discussion in the object class. Object class. Okay, today's session in the real time, in the real time, in real time, methods deals with the objects only. Methods deals with objects only. Methods deals with object only. So every class we will represent in the format of object only. So I can say we are moving the data from one place to another place, meaning front end to back end, which is in the format of object only. Okay, and we will store in the our data in the database, which is in the format only. So Java is the OOP language. Everything will be stored in the format of object only. Object only. Object, which is one reference variable. Already in the last session, I told you one example. For example, I will show you one more time here. You can take the some properties. If you take some properties, the properties like those properties are related to some product. Okay, which meaning product ID, and product ID is some number like 100, and product name is some soap name, and product color. So these are the properties are belonging to one product. These all the properties will store in one reference variable. The data type is the class name. Are you guys clear with my point? So similarly, the data we will every data will be stored in the format of object only. In the real time, methods deals with the objects only. Methods deals with the objects only. Method deals with the object only. Okay. So now my question is, write a method, write a method to print student data. To print student data. Then how will you write the program to print student data? Normally I will show you here. Normally I will show you here. I will take one more package, control N, and then my package name is, I would like to take some package. So the package name is, I would like to mention the today class is about methods deals with methods. I'm mentioning the package name like this. I'm controlling. You can take the class. Okay, I'm giving the class name is some driver. You can give any name. Now you can see what I will do. This is one class, right? Now here I will take one more class, class student, and from here to here I will take the Scope of the class. Now, in this file, I have two classes. One is the driver class, second one is the student class. Okay. Now, my requirement is I need to establish the relation between two classes. How should I do? We can we can establish the relation between two classes by creating the object. Okay, so we are creating the establishment between predefined classes also by creating the object only. Now here also, this is the one class and driver is the one class. So what will happen if the file contain any number of classes? All the class will be loaded into the class loader and it will allocate the memory at the method area. Okay, initially the class code will be stored in the method area. Okay, now here I will take two properties. The properties are like int id and the second property is the string name. Okay, these two properties are belong to student name. Are you guys clear with my point? Now, what I will do generally, my requirement is okay, my requirement is this one. Write a method to print the student data. So my requirement, I will come to here and then here I will write my requirement. Write a print data method. The method name is anything to print student data. To print student data. So this is my requirement. This is my requirement. So in this case, we will take one method, right? Like this, for example, the method name is the printed data. We can take the printed data method. Printed data method. I am taking. Okay. So and now what I am doing? So I am passing the parameter. I am passing the parameter like this. Student is. So should I pass like this? Yes, you can pass like this. So this is the one way. Normal approach, how will you pass generally? For example, the same method I am taking void and printed data, and then here we can mention in the ID, and then next one we have the string name, right? String name, and then from here to here, this is the scope of the method. Generally, the student data you can pass in two ways. One is by passing the parameters based on the properties, and second way is the directly you can pass the object as the parameter. So among those two, these are the two possibilities we can achieve our requirement. But among those two, this is not at all recommended. Okay, this one only recommended. Why? Because so here I am only taken only two properties. So instead of two properties, if the class is containing some 20 properties, so if I go with this approach, so should I write like 20 properties? Should I pass those 20 properties as the input? If I pass 20 properties as the input, then what will happen? It will increase the lines of code actually. Instead of 20, if the class contains 50 variables, then I need to write 50 variables like this, right? That is not at all recommended. Okay. So this is the one possibility, but this one is not at all recommended. Okay, that's why what we will do, this object, this is the class, this class as a object we will pass as a parameter to that method. Now this student, this is the S is the object, right? This is having all the properties belonging to the student. So this is the recommended approach. This is the approach number one, and this is the approach number two. Approach number one is not at all recommended. Approach number two only the recommended. In the real time scenarios can deal the class data like this only. This is the method, and for this method we will pass it parameter as the to that method. Okay, this is the only the real times we will do. Okay, so here you can see. Now I'm deleting this one, and method name is print student s. Okay, fine. Now what I will do, this is the normal method. Okay, here I would like to take the sysout statement, and here I will call the s dot id, and then I'm doing the concatenation. Okay, and then here I would like to mention s dot name, s dot name. Okay, now this is the normal custom method, right? For this custom method, I am passing this class as a input. This class as an input, I am passing as an input. Now I need to call this print data method. How can I call? So by default, it won't execute, right? So we need to take a main method is compulsory. Why? Because JVM knows only main method. Every program execution will start from the main method only. Okay, so I have taken the main method. Okay, fine. This is the class, driver class, and this is the one custom class which is available in the driver class. Now I need to call this instance method. How could I call? How could I call? I need to call by creating the object. For home class, should I create the object? Home class, should I create the object? Driver class only you should create the object. Okay, driver, and then you can. This is the object got created inside the heap memory, and then we can mention with. We can mention the data type is anything driver. So the object got created successfully. This object I am successfully stored in D reference variable. D reference variable. Okay. Now should I call the print data? Yes, we can call. So now what I will do? D dot print data student s. Okay. Print dot student s. Now what you will do? Uh, Now you come here. This is the student, and we are passing as here. Now we need to make the establish relation between two classes. For that purpose, we will create the object for the student. So simply you can come here. You can create the student, and then this object you can store in some reference variable, which meaning student. Okay, and then now we can call the d dot print data method. Okay, print data method. Now if I execute this file, then what should I get? I will get the default values. I will run this program, and then if I run this one, so I'm getting the default values. Why the default values? I'm not initialized anywhere, right? So that's why by default it is providing the default values. I don't like default values. I need to provide some values. So how could I provide? Every object will maintain copy of the instance variables, right? Now object, student object, I need to take the ID equal to some values. Some 100, ID I am passing some 100, name I am passing some Raju. Okay, and then I'm giving semicolon. Now I am running this one. I'm running this one. I will get the 100 and Raju. 100 and Raju. The thing is, what I did here, you can observe, I will tell one more time. Student is the one object, real-time object. So student is having the properties. So the student might be having the multiple properties. Among those properties, I am taking only two properties, int id and string name. Int id and string name. Okay. Now I am passing this. Now this student object is having all the data. If the class contain 50 variables, 50 properties, the class contain 100 properties. All the data I am storing in one variable. That variable data type is the class. That variable data type is the class. Okay, this is the one class, and this is the one class. So one file can contain number of classes also. Okay, one file can contain number of classes also. Here you can take any other class, and like that you can take n number of classes. How will you make the relation between two classes? By creating the object. Okay, by creating the object, we are establishing the relation between two classes. Okay, so this is the object we have created, student class, and with this we are making the relation between two classes. Making the relation between two classes. Making the relation between two classes. Okay. Okay, okay, fine. Directly, I have created the object. This object I have passed as a input parameter to that method, and directly this method is available in the driver class. So due to that, this is the instance method. How could I call the instance method? You could call the instance method by using object. So that's why I'm giving I would say create the object for the driver class with the help of this with the help of this reference object. I'm calling the print data method. I'm calling the print data method. Are you guys clear with this point? This is clear or not? This is clear. So will see one more example. So instead of student, I will take the employee. I'm deleting all the things. Okay, this is clear. Driver class, main method. Okay, okay, fine. Now the same scenario, I'm taking another class, that is the employee class. The property from scope of the class. Here I'm taking the employee properties like int employee ID, and next thing is employee salary. I would like to mention double salary. Double salary. Okay. Okay. Employee is the physical entity. This person having two properties, employee ID and double salary. I'm taking only two properties. Might be having 20 properties, n number of properties he might be having. Okay. Now, hmm, this is the class which is available in the same file, and this is the main class which is also available in the same file. So how can I make the extra relation between two classes? We need to create the object. How to create the object? So new employee, and then the object got created inside the heap memory. This will be stored in the inside the heap memory. But this one we cannot directly reuse anywhere. That's why we will store this one in some reference variable. This reference variable data type is the employee. This reference variable data type is the employee. That will not this one. The employee. Okay. So now the data will be stored, all the data will be stored in this reference variable. Now this object I am passing as a, I am taking one method, that is m1 method, or any method you can take, and from here to here this is the scope of the m1 method, and here I am passing employee as the object. So should I pass directly like this? No, we need to mention this is the variable only. We need to mention the data type of that variable also. Okay, employee. Okay, fine. So I have passed successfully. And then here I would like to take the sys out statement. I would like to take the sys out statement. Okay, and here I will mention e dot e employee ID. And then next thing is we can mention with e dot salary. Salary. You can take in two lines also. Okay, I'm saving this one. Where this method is available, which is available in driver class. This also, this one is the instance method. Instance method is also called as object level method. Okay. Instance method is also called as object level method, right? So you can access instance method by using the objects. For that purpose, so till now you guys clear. This is the step number one, and making the established relation between two classes. This is the step number two, and this is the step number three. And step number four, we need to call the instance method. So for calling the instance method, I am creating the uh, object for current class. So I will create new driver, and then we can make the relation driver, and here I am storing this one in a driver, and then now we can call m1 method. M1 method. This is the step number 4. Are you guys clear with my point? So I will clearly tell you this step number 1. Step number 1, creating the class with properties. Step number 2, this is the step number 2. I will mention step number 2, creating the object. Step number 2, establish the relation between two classes. Establish relation between two classes. Okay, and third one is this statement. Step number 3, what we will do? Step number 3, so passing object as a parameter, object as a parameter to the method. Okay, and then this is the and this one is the instance method, right? This is the instance method. So how will you call the instance method? This is the instance method. Create the object by using the object only you can access instance method. Okay, step number 3 is clear, and that is the step number 3. This is the instance method. So how could I call the instance method? By using the object for the current class. Step number 3. Step number 4, we can access object, we can access instance methods by using objects only, by using objects. So that's why we are creating the object and then we are calling by using the objects only. Okay, and in the step number 5, calling the instance method. Step number 5, calling we can say invoking instance method. Invoking instance method. These are the 5 steps you need to understand. Are you guys clear with my point now? So in the real time, the method deals with the like this only. For example, I will show you some. I have some projects, some demo projects. I will show you. This one I can open with. I will open this one. Open folder, which is available in drive. This desktop, right? Desktop, practice code, AM guides. I'm opening this AM guides. Now, so if I open this one, bank account holder and bank account holder configuration, this is the one file, and the bank account holder, this is the one file, right? I'm closing remaining files. Okay, you guys observe these two files. This class name is the bank account holder. This bank account holder is having the properties holder name, account number. So these are the properties, and it is having the methods like activate method, deactivate method, modified method, and next update method. Okay, and we have the one more file, that is the bank account holder configuration. If I open this one, you can go here. So here, which is having some properties. Okay, holder name, account number. Okay, which is having some properties. Those are belonging to this class. The class name is the bank account holder configuration. Now, if you see how I am passing those class as a parameter. If you see the class name, this class name and this class name is same or not? Same. Bank account holder configuration, and this object can take anything. Okay, real time scenario. We will. Are you guys clear with my point? Real time scenario. The method deals with the object only. We will create the classes. That classes will pass as a parameter to the parameters to the methods. Activate is the one method, deactivate is the one method, and for these methods we are passing as the class as the input. Okay, modified method, update method. So like this. Are you guys clear with my points? So in the real time scenarios, our methods deals with the objects only. This is the example. This is the one class which is having the some data, and this all the data we are storing in one reference variable. That reference variable is that reference variable name is this one. Okay, that reference variable data type is the class name, and that reference variable name you can take anything. This all the data we are storing in one reference variable. That reference variable we are passing as a input. Input. Okay, input to the every method, activate method, deactivate method, modified method, update method, like this. Are you guys clear with my point? So if you take any real-time project, so all the real-time projects you can take. So the file should be like this only. So they will create the one class in some location. So they will invoke they will establish the relation between two classes, or they will pass the parameter to the other methods to other class. So in the real-time scenarios, will be having like this only. If you take anything, for example, if you take any other one, employee configuration, here also same thing. Here also same thing. These are the properties are belonging to employee configuration, and then you can go with employee IMPL. So here, which is having the methods. So we are passing that one as an input to that methods. Employee configuration method, we are passing as a input, meaning parameters. We are passing object as a parameter. Object as the parameter. Okay. Deactivate method, next modified method, activate method. So like this. In the real-time scenarios, methods deals with the object only. Very important topic. Very important topic. So yesterday class, today class, very important. Okay. In the real-time scenarios, method deals with the objects only. Everything we will store in object format. So the front-end data we will give to the backend object in the object format only. So we will store our data in the database also in the format of object only, in the form of object only. So object, so that's why our Java is the OOP language. OOP language meaning everything we will represent in the form of object only. Everything we will represent in the form of object only. Okay, this is scenario number one. Okay, this is scenario number one. Okay, now this is the employee class. Now what I will do, I will take other class, that is the student class also I am taking. Student class also I am taking. From here to here, student class, and here also I like to take the string name. I would like to take the string name property. Okay, string name property. Now string name property and string ID, I am taking one property. So in your case, when you are practicing, you can take the multiple properties and then you can practice. Okay, this is also one class, and this is also other class. How can I make the relation between these two classes? We'll create the object. Okay, so I am creating the object with the student, new student, and then this one I am storing in a reference variable. That reference variable name is, I am mentioning S and student. Okay, I have successfully making the relation between two classes, and this is the object, right? This object I am passing as a parameter. Should I pass directly like this? taking comma, and then uh, the data type is the student, and yes, should I pass like this? Yes, we can pass like this. And then here we can take the system dot out dot println sysout statement, and then here you can pass with s dot name, s dot name. So if I execute this one directly, then what should we get? You can mention with uh, now we can call the m1 method d dot m1 method employee and student. Okay, employee and student you can call. So employee object got created here, and then now we can take this one. Okay, can save this one. Now if you run this one, then what you will get? You will get name as the default value. Name as the default values. I will run this one. You will get the default values. I don't like default values. I need to provide some values. How should I provide? Every object will maintain copy of the instance variables, right? Copy of the instance variables. For example, now we can come to the student is name. Here I will mention some Rani. Okay, and then we have the all employee. So employee details will pass e dot employee ID equal to employee ID equal to some 100 I am giving, and e dot salary will give some 5,000 like that. Okay, if I run this one, then I can get the default values. Now I can get the whatever the assigning values I will get. Whatever the values I have assigned, those values I will get. This is clear, guys. So in the real-time scenarios, we will the methods deals with the object only, like the basic thing of data types. So we are passing the parameters. So those things are for understanding purpose only. But in the real-time scenarios, all the methods we will deal like this only. All the methods we will deal like this only. Okay. This is clear or not? So based on that, I will give multiple examples. Can go through it and you can practice those. And this is the one scenario. Okay. So second scenario is this is the scenario number one. Okay, fine, very good. And second scenario is write a method, write a method to return student object. To return student object. Are you guys clear with my point? This is the number one. I mentioned this is the scenario number one. Scenario number one. And this is the scenario number two. Guys, if you practice the Java, then only the Java is very easy. Okay, if you're not practicing, you are attending the classes, you will be compulsory confused. You compulsory confused. If you see here, there we have a lot of difference. So here the method, only the method to print the student data, but here the method to return the object. So to return the object, what you will do? This is the scenario number one. Okay, fine. Okay, now what I will do, I am removing all the things, and here also I will remove all the things, and here also I am removing all the things. Okay, okay, fine. I am saving the file. Now I will take the one class. That class name is I will take the person class. From here to here, this is the scope of the person, and person of properties I am taking into ID. Okay, next string name I am taking. String name I am taking. My requirement is my requirement is write a write a write a method to return the person object. Write a method write a method to return person object right. So returning meaning the method name compulsory should contain data type, written data type. Okay, data type. So that the method name should compulsory contain the written data type. So now you can see, so the method name you can take anything. I am taking m1 method, so this is valid. I am taking this like this. Okay, this is good. Now my requirement is the method has to return object as the method has to return person object. So if the method has to return the person object, that object the method is also can have compulsory the data type is the person only. The data type is the compulsory person only. Should I take like this? Should I take like this? Are you guys clear with my point what I'm saying? We have the four combinations, right? So before at the time of doing the practicing, instead of this one we are taking some strings, right? So string and the method name is okay, we will take the full name, and then here we are passing some strings. Okay, and then finally what we will do, we are returning some statement, right? So I will mention first name, and then second one is the string. This is the second name, and from here to here this is the scope of the class. Okay, finally we will mention return this. We will pass, right, f name plus next thing is s name. This we did in the last sessions. Okay, now if you see, the method name is the full name and the method data type is the string. Method data type is the string. So with this respect to string data type, now what I am doing, I am taking the data type as the class. So classes also can take as the data type, right? For this method I am taking class is the data type for the method. So should I type like this? This is the valid or invalid? This is also valid. Okay, you can take like this. Now what I am doing, instead of string I am taking the class name. Instead of string I am taking the class name. Okay, my question is this one, write a method to return the person object. So here I am returning full name and last name. So what should I get the result? Joining two strings I can get as the result. But in this scenario I need to return. How can I return? This is clear, guys. Now, in this scenario, the data type M1 data type is the person. My requirement is to return the person object. How can I return? For returning the person object, we need to create the object here. Okay, so the object which is available here, the person object you can create here. New, you can mention the person, and then this person we can store in some reference variable. I'm mentioning p1, and then the data type is the person. Should I take like this? Yes, we can take. Why it is throwing the error? Why it is throwing the error? Huh? If the method has the return data type, if the method has the data type, then it has to return same data type. Okay. Now you can take the return statement should be the last line of the block, and you can pass the p1. Now you see, now this is clear or not? Yes. So this is the real-time scenarios. We will operate the methods like this only. We will operate the methods like this only. Okay. Now what I am doing, I am taking. So this is the with respect to P1, like, so for one class you can create number of objects also, right? So now you can observe what I will do. I'm creating one more object, that is the person, and I'm storing this person in one more. I'm giving the name is P2, and then the person P2. Okay. So should I create like this? Should I create number of objects? Okay. Should I create number of objects? As you can create. We can create P1, P2, P3, and P4. P4, right? So I am returning only one object, but I want to return all four objects. Are you guys clear with my point? Here I am returning only P1. Then who will return remaining three objects? So that's why what I am doing here. These four objects I am storing in one array. These four objects I am storing in one array. Are you guys clear with my point? So in this scenario I am returning only one object. So I want to return all four objects. How could I return? That's why what I will do, I will create one array, and that array I will return. So if you see here, I will mention person and array representation, array, and you can take the open curly braces and close curly braces. Here you can mention object reference variables. P1, P2, P3, and P4. I am mentioning P1 and P2 and P3 and P4. P4. And I am mention. So what does it mean? All the objects again I am storing in one reference variable. That reference variable name is array. Okay. Now I am returning this variable. Then what does it mean? I am returning all the variables, all the objects I am returning by using one single reference variable. This is the scenario. Are you guys clear with my point? What I am doing? So you can mention. So here also you can mention the data type as the array. Now we will get the clear. Are you guys clear with my point? What I am doing? We are making the relation. We are creating for one class. We can create number of objects. I am creating the four objects. I need to return all four objects. Okay. I need to return all four objects. So that's why I'm storing all four objects in one reference variable, and I am returning that reference variable. What does it mean? So internally it is holding four objects actually. Four objects. So I'm returning that one. Now you can tell me this is the instance method, right? This is the instance method. How could I call the instance method? To create the object. For which class, home class should I create? For which class, person class or driver class, which is available in the driver class. So where the car instance method is available for that class, you should create the object. Okay, now I am coming down, and then I am create the object. The object is new driver, and then I will store this one in some reference variable name. So that is I will mention the reference variable driver, and then I can mention driver. Okay, object got created successfully. Now I will call the driver dot method name. The method name is basically M1 method. If you see here, M1 method, you can call the M1 method. Okay, and then this data type is the array, right? So that's why you should store this object we are calling. Okay, and then we can store in some I will mention some reference variable name again, and then drive I will mention some drive, and then this data type is person. This data type is the person. Okay, so this is the scenario. So directly I am getting the uh, string data. Okay. So if you want to, I would say the default values. you need to call the values. How will you call? So here you can mention with you can assign with the p1 dot int id equal to some name, right? Name I can mention some, I would like to take some 100. Okay, next we are taking 2, right? So p1 dot name equal to, we'll take some Raju. So Raju, same scenario, same scenario we can take here, and we will mention 2 and 2. Okay, here you can mention 101, and here you can mention some Rani. So similarly with respect to remaining objects also. Okay, now you can come down, you can take the sort statement, and here you can call the p1 id and p1 name, p1 id and p1 name. I can take the p1 id. Okay, and then I can take the p1 name. Okay, so similarly remaining all also same. So I'm showing with I will show with respect to p1, then you can try with the remaining all are. Okay, and if I run this one, I'm getting the values. So remaining, you can also initialize remaining all the values. So generally this is with respect to methods deals with the arrays. Methods deals with the arrays. Methods deals with the arrays. Methods deals with arrays. Okay, so these are the topics we have in the arrays topic. So generally, so combinations, methods combinations. Next, methods deals with the objects. Methods deals with the objects. Deals with objects, and methods deals with arrays. Methods deals with arrays. So these are the very important topics, and we will deal in the real-time scenarios based on 3 scenarios only. So normally, normal in institutes, like if you join any institutes, so they will take at least 10 days to complete these 10 days. 7 to 10 days they will take. So for time being, we are completing in 2 days only. So a lot of examples. Among those, I will share a few of examples. Almost I will share 8 to 9 examples. So based on these 3 combinations, you can try those examples. Okay, you can take the screenshot of it and you can share in the group. These 3 are very important in the real-time scenarios. So in the AM backend also, we will use these concepts only. We will use these concepts only. You can practice multiple times. If you are not understanding the Java meaning, you are not practicing. Only the thing is not practicing. Okay. So please be practice. Very important topic. If you understand this topic, then you can play boxing with Java. If not, Java will play boxing with you. Okay. So this is the thing.